Oh, yeah. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, all around the world, wherever you are, it don't really matter. Oh, are you off? You off? Darling, she's off. Let's have a look out the back, see if you can see the horses. Can you see all the horses? Oh, can you see them? Yeah. Oh, no, that's the missus. You might see the horses in a sec. Hang on. How many of you like? It's like Alan Titchmarsh on TV, isn't it? It's like we call this Country File today. Can you see the horses there behind the little seating area? Can you see them? Can you see the horses? Oh, look at them! Look, gotta love an horse, haven't you? Beautiful animals. How we doing, people? Just waiting for a few people to pop in. They're going out riding in a second. It looks like they're off at Kempton Park, doesn't it? There's 3 of them out there, and they're all animals. And that's just the ladies. Let me tell you. I've done me a good deed for the day. I was out cycling this morning. I cycled over to my mate's house. We've just been out and done a 20 miler. I'm just trying to up my cycling. And on the way back, I found a phone and a purse laying in the middle of the road in a wallet with credit cards. And it's safely back with the owner now. Safely back with the owner. It's lovely. Good deed of the day. Wear me special back. I was a Cub Scout. I was in the Cubs. Hello, Raj. How you doing, darling? Nice to see you. I'm going to be going through some of the contents, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to explain a few things here, right? What's up, Trev? How's it going, me old Savaloy? You all right? Yeah, no, we're all good. Trev, we're all good. Mate, I'm so proud of you for fixing your boiler. You're the man. You're the man. That's what you are. You are the man. Oh, no. Here it is. Yeah. Let's have a look. He sent me some bits the other day. Oh, that was it. Here we go. Right, now, I want to explain a few things, right? Sarah Harvey, hello, darling. Give you some strength. I've just done 20 miles on my bike. I'm telling you. Living the dream. It's only because the old Bill have taken the van off me. I'm only teasing. No, they haven't. So, what I choose to do, I like to, for the last year, I've been working out, lifting weights, cycling, boxing, and by only hit punch bags, I won't have nothing that hits me back in case it spoils my natural good looks. So that ain't even happening. Big turnout today in Bradford. Active Patriot, Daddy Dragon in the crowd. Oh, brilliant. Oh, my old mate Graham Moore, bless him, he's a dude. So look, I like keeping fit. I always kind of have, looking after the body. So today we've had vitamin D, vitamin Bs, vitamin Cs, cod liver oil, all that sort of stuff. Now, there's a massive study out there, and the doctors are now starting to get their heads. And if you want to go and check out a fantastic doctor that goes on YouTube and all these other channels, that is Dr. Vernon Coleman. He's amazing. National treasure, Dr. Vernon Coleman. But the doctors and the professionals out there, these so-called professionals in the white suits, they're now saying that daily dosing or dosing with vitamin D is far more beneficial to you than anything else. So, look, I'm not going to name the jab because you've got to be very careful how I use my words nowadays. Otherwise, YouTube strike the videos out. We've got little YouTube bots that go around and monitor everyone's, even down whether you've got a bogey hanging out the end of your nose. They want to know. Beffy Marshall, right, treacle. All fired up, going well now, but you're cashing it in, Trev. You thought you was up for a new boiler then, didn't you, mate? About another $3,500. I bet the old wallet pulled in tight to your hips there, son. So yeah, I like to take natural stuff, good vitamins, good food. I eat very, very good food. Pretty all natural food. Loads of just loads of veg and fruit and all that peanuts. I just like things that ain't overly been tampered with. Do you know what I mean? Unlike the kids that used to go on the Jimmy Savile TV program, didn't they? Anyway, so this particular jab, I'm not going to tell you what make it is, but this is the contents of one of these jabs. It's like getting hit by a boxer, isn't it? Boom, give him a right jab. Bosh. No, left jab, right hook. Well, it depends which way you box, man. Zinc's fantastic. Yeah, I've had magnesium today because magnesium is very good for your joints. Beth Marshall, thanks for tuning in. How's Marshall doing? Is he driving you mad, or is he out working? What's he up to? Remind me what I need to write in my send. Remind me what I need to write in my sentences. Just return to sender. No, thank you. No contract. Simple. I like the log burner with mine. Enough. Get it go well. My goodness. I don't know what paper they use, but it really does. Look, I don't like communism. I don't like public servants getting out their box. I don't want them knowing my inside leg measurement when I fart. I just think they should only ever really be dealing in business matters, like running the breweries, the train stations, the airport. That's it. But all for our benefit. When they start coming and writing letters to you about how many living in the house, what ages, to me, that's communism. And no wonder we have this beautiful program on telly called Big Brother with Davina McCall. And she loves a bit of it. Let me say, it's gone full-blown communism. Personally, I don't think the state should ever know what you get up to in your own homes. And I like to be private. Although I do a lot of videos on here, you see me. But in general, I'm quite a private individual. He's snoring away. Hasn't been getting home till 7:30 in the morning. Oh, bless his eyes. He's working hard, and he putting food on table, Beth. Do you work, Beth? You got a little sideline, or is it just full-time motherhood for you? Anyway, so listen. The contents of this jab, one dose is 0.5 mils, and it contains a COVID-19 vax. It's got 5 times 10 viral particles. Replication deficient chimpanzee adenovirus vector encoding the SARS-CoV-2 spike glycoprotein produced in genetically modified human embryonic kidney, HEK 293 cells. This product contains genetically modified organisms, GMOs. The other excipients are lipohistidine. Some of these I can't pronounce. Hydrochloride, monohydrate, magnesium chloride, hexahydrate, polysobate 80, ethanol, sucrose, sodium chloride, disodium edetate, dihydrate, water for injections. So it contains chimpanzee. I've not had it yet. Chimpanzee adenovirus vector mate, get your head around that. Get your head. What is going on? So you've all got chimpanzee stuff in you now. So if you all start running around Sainsbury's getting all your bananas, good job it ain't got elephant DNA in it, isn't it, really? Because you'd be getting the sticky buns and trying to stick them out your bum, wouldn't you? Unbelievable. Dave was listening to Dolores Carrill on that. She's good. Oh, mate, she's sweet as nut, Dolores. Another awesome individual. He works very hard, and I'm very proud of him. Full-time mum is hard enough. Oh, mate, yeah, listen, let me tell you. There's a good thing for kids. Right now, YouTube might frown upon this, but I'm like a little bit satirical. I'm not serious. Don't try this at home. Do all that stuff. This is just me having a bit of a giggle. But what I always found at keeping the kids quiet was gaffer tape. It was and little Velcro suits that you put them in the Velcro suits, and you have a Velcro patch up on the wall. And when they get out of the box, you pick them up, you stick them to the Velcro pad. They can't move. They're taped up with a gaffer tape. You can't hear them until dinner time. Fantastic. Saves all that Prozac, mums. Let me tell you, you won't have to get on the Prozac at all. No. So, yeah, bless your heart, mate. Got a little resin business on the go, so we'll see how it goes. Oh, you're making resin stuff, are you? Taping them up, and they got a special jacket that ties up at the back. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, zip them up. Boss, stick them up on the wall. Gaffer tape. Arms, legs, and mouth. Jobs are good, and it. You can call it your Joseph Fritzl thing. What are you doing with the kids on the way? It's my new Joseph Fritzl device. Yeah, bosh. That was terrible, wasn't it? Joseph Fritzl, what he did with them daughters, kept them locked up in his dungeon for all them years. My goodness. It's like medieval times. Unbelievable. Barry Wickens. Hey, gorgeous. How are you? Oh, Baz. Nice to see you, mate. Hope you're doing all right. You still out there having a go, mate? Are you? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, so, ladies and gentlemen, we've all got now chimpanzee. We've got the DNA of the chimp. Maybe, just maybe, they're trying to get us to go back to Neanderthal, man, where we just press the buttons and run the mills, but we don't think for ourselves. Maybe that's the case. Maybe the chimpanzees you'd be good at trapeze. My God, you'd be leaping through trees, doing the old monkey bars, easy peasy. Yeah, you're thinking about that now, Beth, and you're thinking, cool, Dave might have a point here. Yeah, I mean, Velcro's cheap. You can make Velcro suits, even if you can't buy them on eBay. You could make your own Velcro kid suit. And they'll always be grateful. Listen, sort yourselves out, kids. Otherwise, I'm going to stick you in the Velcro suit. Dave says it's a good idea, and I'm going to gaffer tape you up until your dad comes home. Lovely peace and quiet. You'll be able to sit here, listen to the birds singing around in the trees. Because kids, mate, they get full on nowadays, don't they? Oh, my God. I drove my mother to rag and ruin. She even says that even now. She says, my God, you was hard work. I say, Mum, I'm so sorry. I'll buy extra daffodils on Mother's Day just for that. And I used to go and pick daffodils for her when I was a kid because I love my mum. And I'd always, they drained an old canal years ago where I lived in Peckham. And they drained it because people kept falling in, coming home pissed from the pubs. And a lot of rats and that around there. So they drained all the canals that used to bring all the timber barges up to the timber merchants where you could buy your timbers to build your houses and all that. And they drained them all and turned them into parks. Well, these daffodils used to pop up. So I used to go and grab an handful and bring them home and say, Mum, happy Mother's Day. She'd go, oh, boy, you are so lovely. I go, that's all right, Mum. No worries. I'll do this because I love you. Do you know what I mean? She's been my mum all my life. It's unbelievable. I don't know if she's done it. So nice to see you, Baz. How are you finding things, my old fruit? So apparently there's a big turnout up in let's just go back up through these comments a second. There's a big turnout somewhere today. Where are we? Bradford. Massive big turnout in Bradford today, says Kenneth Noel Karan. There was a big thing last night. Rupley where it was I don't know if I think it was London anti-lockdown protest or so. No, Kilgates. They're doing this Kilgates vaccine thing. They're all out whinging and moaning about Bill Gates and his plans of what he's got in line. And there was a lot of people was out last night. I'm trying to think of the saying they were chanting with. It was something like along the lines of when we all come together, we get our country back. And I'm like, I like that mantra. Do you know, guys, all I ever want, right, and I'm pretty sure most of you are the... Let's see how the horses are doing. Let's see if there's any horses out there. Can you see them? Can't see the horses, can you? No. I don't know where they are. Where are they gone? Around there? No, you can't see them. The sun's up, isn't it? The sun's up. So I just want people to be free. I want people to be wholesome, to be happy, to be safe in the knowledge that their properties are theirs, that their children are theirs, that their cars, that no one in a uniform can come and nick your stuff. That's the kind of world I want to see. I want to see great education. I want to see the kids properly educated, first and foremost in respect, to respect life, to respect property, to respect liberty. And you got no ideas, guys, how this country would absolutely change. It's become very wicked. My missus is a vet nurse, and she said they've just had a cat come in that they've had to put down because someone has gone through its backbone and severed a load of things with what looked like a machete. And I'm just like, for real? What pleasure could you possibly derive from taking a machete to an animal? And what would possess you to do it in the first place? I mean, am I unusual? Am I abnormal for thinking that is purely evil? Throw them out in the garden, they're bouncing off the walls. Yeah, get them out in the garden, Beth. Go on, stick them out in the garden. Tape them up, and they have a special jacket that ties up the back. Yes, Beth, you know. You're going to be looking on eBay later, aren't you, for that kind of gig? Yeah, I know. So, yeah, that's what you're going to be getting, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to be getting your chimpanzee DNA in your body. So, sure, you're going to be eating loads of bananas. You're going to be going through loads and loads and loads of stuff. And Bob's your uncle. We're living in really weird times. You know, I've just popped in to see me mate. I've just been out and done a 20-mile bike ride this morning, and I popped into his house halfway round for a cup of tea and that. I ain't seen him for a while, and they're all saying, "Oh, I think we're allowed out next weekend. Oh, I think we can have people round in our garden from." And I'm like, "Wow." We really do believe everything that comes out of these politicians' mouths, don't we? So are politicians the problem, or are we the problem? Through our bowing to these people, we seem to hold these people in some sort of reverence and respect. And listen, gladly, once upon a time, maybe they did have a bit of reverence and respect. Or has it always just been about control? You know, Thomas Cromwell lost his head because of the Reformation. He went against the king's will, and there was a massive revolt that kicked up about Henry VIII. So there was a lot going on that the monarchy didn't. I mean, Henry VIII didn't know about it until it all come on top when they were marching from Lincoln and York and coming down to London and causing mayhem. Cromwell lost his head. You know, has it ever been decent? I don't think it has. Maybe I'm just living in a world that I see through rose tinted glasses. Perhaps this is just a purely evil, wicked place, eh? But I would love to see the kids have a decent future. I would love to see the kids to be able to have property, to be able to sleep easy at night and not be little slaves. And I will work tirelessly until we get that back, until we get our public servants back to serving and to be respectful to us, the sovereign people of this country. We are the sovereigns. We are, through God, we're sovereign, all right? But you can only be sovereign through God. You can't be sovereign any other way, because you have to be at one with your Heavenly Father, and that's just it, you know. And through His will, through my will, thou shalt be done. And that's what we have to do. Doest thou will on heaven and earth. And we've come so far away from the truth and anything decent. You know, people chopping animals up with machetes. I've got no time for that. It's not conducive to a decent country, is it? You know, and that can't be isolated. There's got to be far worse things that are happening. So it has become wicked, and we all worry, don't we, when our kids go to schools? We worry. You know, listen, the first day you take your kid to school, right, you dress them up, didn't you? They get their first little uniform. They all look sweet and innocent, and you tell them to go and stand over in the corner, have your photo taken, and your mum's crying. Oh, it's my boy's first day at school today. Oh, I'm going to cry my eyes out. When that kid comes home at the end of that day, it looks like he wants a war. You know, he's always toughened up. He's gone the first day, this sweet, innocent little angel. And then when he comes home after the first day, all bets are off, mate, because they change on the very first day. They go to these public schools. They change because it is dog eat dog, man. It is a dogma. You take your life into your own hands. There's all sort of stuff goes on at these schools. I'll never forget that poor woman teacher that got stabbed to death years ago. I don't know if it was just outside the school gates in London. Nothing ever got done about it. It's just unbelievable. Nothing ever got done. That poor woman really serving, she died in vain. But you have to question why that's ever happening in the first place. It's not about, dealing with the perpetrator. It's about, why is that kind of thing happening in the first place? For me, you always go back to the beginning. Why things are happening. Why are the police so hell-bent and out of control? Why Definitely 100%, ladies and gentlemen. That thing that happened last weekend in Bristol, I'm telling you now, that was a complete setup by the police. They managed to get their little agent provocateurs in there to stir up a few people to start getting into a spoil. And that's what they want, because they only had to start off and just ignite that little flame, and they have their reporters there and they take all these pictures and do this and that. And then the next day, the media go into this rampage. Why? Because the media are scared. The BBC, the newspapers, they know that people are changing. They know that they're naturally losing the race because social media has become so prevalent. There was a guy, he's a new artist, a new singer, and he I was listening to his song. It's called Baked Beans. Would you believe it? Because whilst he was a student, all he ate was baked beans. I imagine his room smelled lovely. But he's come to this pinnacle now where he's selling his music, and he said the industry's changed. He said, if you've got to be in the social media gig because things ain't happening otherwise. So I liken to agree with him, and it's the same across the board with social media. How many people do you know that generally sit now and watch the BBC News? And we know that the BBC have said, we're stopping doing the news. In the next few years, you're going to see the 6 o'clock news and the 10 o'clock news disappear because they know no one's paying attention. So that's why they're all in such a disarray, because they know they've lost their lever. When we used to sit and just blindly watch that TV and accept everything that's coming off them news channels, they had absolute control over us. The game's changed, ladies and gentlemen. The game has changed. Social media has put in such a different viewpoint, a focus of attention than ever before. So that's why the police are getting desperate. That's why they're using old, not worthy transits, and then they're getting set alight, and then they're making it all out there. It's the protesters. But the thing is, their lies and their witchcraft just ain't working no more. So you're seeing last week in London, massive turnouts in London on Saturday. People are saying to me there was around about 180,000 people there last Saturday. Bristol, massive turnout. And my friend, where I went earlier today for a cup of tea and that, he said to me, what did I make of the Bristol thing? And I said, complete setup. The police, that old truck that they had, that old transit out, was an old ratty piece that, that you just wouldn't have. I mean, you've seen the police motors now. They rattle around. They've got all the machine guns. They've got council taxes going up another 7%, another such. So more pensions are being paid for. They're really raping and pilfering us all now. And they were never supposed to come in our front door. They was only ever supposed to deal with the business sector. Council tax should never even be. Rates, yeah, a business pays rates. That pays for the education. It pays for all these other bits and bobs so the country can run. It was only ever industry that was supposed to pay for that. But now we've got a fascist communistic state because we have the big conglomerate corporations working with government hand in hand to deceive us lot. Well, Mussolini said that's the definition of fascism or communism. He said we're both working hand in hand to deceive everybody. And that's why Mussolini was dragged and kicked to death down the road. And they hung him up outside a cafe for about a week after he would passed away. I don't even know whether they hung his girlfriend up with him as well, or just did Mussolini probably just hung her up, But yeah, it is what it is. So the media have lost control, ladies and gentlemen. The BBC, the newspapers, people gloss through them, but they're not glued to it no more. They're all challenging this, what's going on, and you should encourage all of your friends and families, ladies and gentlemen, just be polite with them. If they're not interested, that's fine. Just smile and have a joke, because when you've got that way about you, people are more likely to tune in to that little vibration. But if you're all screaming and shouting and being militant, I learned that hard lesson many years ago. You just switch people off, and we don't want to switch people off. We want to engage with good decent, upright people and say, you know, look, let's just be paying attention. And as we see, you know, every point in history where the government's gone for gold and they keep take, then the people have got no choice but to rise. Now, I want, and I think we will see at some point in the very near future, a modern day glorious revolution. I truly believe we will, because the politicians know that's what all these restrictions and lockdowns are, is to stop you from communicating again. But it's not working, because 180,000 people turned out in London. They've turned out in Bradford today. Last weekend it was Bristol. If you think this is going away, ladies and gentlemen, forget it. And it will all end up in London. It will all end up in London. And I guarantee you what will happen, either Parliament or Downing Street, if the politicians don't respect us and continue to try and bring in this communist dialectic system that they want to bring in, they fail to realise the force and the veracity of the people. All right. When the people get to a certain point, which is fastly coming close, I guarantee you, this isn't just. I know that they will go and strike at the heart of the beast, and they will try and level their politicians and talk reason with them and say, calm yourself down. What are you playing at? Why are you stealing all of our children? Why are you stealing our cars? Government was never formed to steal anything from us. It was only there to run the cogs and do bits and bobs, but they're stealing our homes, they're stealing our cars, they're stealing our children. This family courts are a sham. They're no different than the star chambers that they used to run in Nazi Germany. The star chambers in Nazi Germany, and I use Germany as a fine example of fascism and totalitarianism, and what happens when you got people that want to swindle a people of a country and dictate to them. Adolf's court systems was 2 judges, and they were called star chambers. And whatever these 2 judges decided, that's what happened. There was no due process of law. I've told you the story about the human rights lawyer in Germany that got a whiff of the concentration camps. Belsen, Dachau, Sobibor, Auschwitz. He didn't like what he was seeing, and he didn't like the way that Heinrich Himmler and all these others and the rise of the National Socialist Party was really coming in. So he thought, right, I'm going to go and find out and do a bit of digging of the National Socialist Party. So he went to Dachau and Belsen and all that and discovered some abnormalities. And he went back to their Supreme Courts in Germany and said, you know what, I'm not sure what's going on here, but I know there's massive violations just about to take place and are taking place. People are losing their lives. Well, unfortunately, he wasn't in time, because the National Socialist Party got too much of a grip on Germany, and everyone liked the prosperity and the National Socialists, because it was all about giving you freedoms, but they all come with a price tag. And this human rights lawyer was a real great German man, ended up with 2 Luger shots in his head. Someone come round from the National Socialist Party and just shot him, you know, whether it was at his face or in the back of his head, who knows? I don't know where he got shot, but he was killed. So we are descending into a dystopia, and we have to be very careful. Now, what I like, the shining glory of this is that this is England. This is our England, Ireland, and Scotland and Wales. And one thing the people of this country have always done, never ever failed. Never ever ever have they failed. They've always risen. When time comes, and when people find themselves in abatement, they wake up. And they come from all sorts of walks of life, and they'll all come together, and they will rise, and they will level whatever this is that's happening, and it's coming. It's like a steam train, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Everywhere you go now, people are talking about have you looked into this? Have you looked into that? You know, I've got a mate that I would never, ever, ever have thought in my wildest dreams that would wake up. But he is woke now and going through the nightmares of what happens to you when you first wake up. Because what happens when you first wake up is it's a complete paradigm shift. It rocks your whole world. Whatever it is that you thought that you believed in, that you trusted in, you get to a realization that it's not correct. And you wrestle with so many things. And then what happens is you're looking for answers. Then you go trying to connect with big groups of people. You know, I myself, you're more than welcome to go and join. I, luckily enough at the time, found a group of people called the Kent Freedom Movement. And Eddie Boyce and Debs, two great people. And the Kent Freedom Movement still runs. And there was one meeting that we had one day with a black guy called Habeas. And when Habeas gave his talk, there was over 150 people there. And I'm looking around thinking, I'm not alone. There's more and more people feeling this way. So it's a good thing. It really, really is a good thing. So that's what started me off. So go and join the Kent Freedom Movement if you want to. Got some great videos on there and great people. Great people. And I imagine their numbers are in the thousands now, big time. So, yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, I thought I'd pop in and see you today. We've just done half hour. I'll come back to you tomorrow. Remember, if you want to be a chimpanzee, go and have these jabs because they got chimpanzee DNA in them. I'll see you all soon. Take care.